Hello everyone, this is Pepe, Evanesco volunteer, and today we're going to see how to mine the AV's token in a Linux machine. So let's do it. First of all, we will need to open the Evanesco GitHub. Over there you can find different projects. For this task we are going to use the miner project. Here you can download the compiled version of the miner. This is the easy part, downloading the pre-compiled version, also with the prop key and all the stuff. But here we are going to compile it from the source file, and we're going to compile it by ourselves. And after that, we're going to start the miner process as a service in Linux. So for this task, I'm going to use a Linux machine. I'm going to connect it to this temporary machine right now. This is an Ubuntu version 20. And to start off, we are going to need to install some packages. So let's install Git, so we can clone the repository from GitHub, and make, we will need to use make to compile the source file. So there you go, it's installing, there it is. Now we're gonna need to copy the link of the source code. So let's copy this and let's clone the repository. Once you clone the repository, you can see a new folder over here. This is the miner folder. And inside we don't have any executable file yet. We're going to compile it in a moment. But first we will need to install the Go programming language. We need to download it first. So let's copy the URL to install it. This is the Linux version, 64 bits. From here you need to choose from the version and operating system you're using. In this case I'm using a Linux 64 bits. So I will copy this link and download it using wget. There it is. Now we have it over here. This is the compressed file. So we need to install it. And for that, let me just minimize this. Let's go to the documentation over here and to the install and go. In this case, we're going to install it in a Linux machine. We're using sudo. So let's copy this. Make sure you are using here the same version of the file, the same exact name of the file you just download. If not, just change it to the file you are using. In this case, we will need to use sudo to execute this file. So let's do it. Sudo. And we have two commands over here, so we need to make sure to run sudo, both commands with privileges. The first command is deleting any older versions we may have of the Go language, and the second command over here, it's uncompressing the file directly in this user local folder. So let's run it. It's just taking a few seconds depending on the computer you're using, and there you go. After you have this, we will need to export or run this command to export the path. So let's do it. There it is. And finally, Go version. There we go. We have the Go version. We just downloaded and installed it. So now let's go inside the folder we just downloaded, the miner folder. So miner. There it is. And if we go to the Evanesco GitHub, we will need to go to the make section, to the build section, and here you can find all the instructions we are going to follow to build or compile the source code, and there to create the account and so on. So first of all, we need to run the make command over here in the website. There you go. I was blocking the site. So in the build section, we have this, the very first command to compile the code. So let's go and compile the code. Make. It will take some time. It downloads some extra packages, and eventually it will compile. So now we're missing some extra packages to do the compiling. So we need to install GCC before this can go through. So let's cancel this with Ctrl+C and install GCC. Yes, there you go. So we need to install first git, make, and GCC. Let's try to compile it again. So after this completes, we will have our very own compiled version. If you want to skip this step, you can just download the version you can find in the very top of the GitHub Evanesco website. So we're doing this to do all the steps from the source code, but you can avoid this, downloading the precompiled source file. So it's still compiling. We don't have any other errors, so let's wait for it. There you go. After a few minutes, we can see that it completed. So if we explore the folder, we have the executable version over here. So we already have a miner, and the next step we need to do over here is to create an account. We just need to create an account for every miner you may have. You probably will need to see my other video. In the other video, I have all the account creating process and so on. And here we're going to create the account very easily inside the Linux terminal. So here we just need to run the command miner generate. It will generate the key file, and you just need to use a very strong password. Over here, there you go. Password must match, and there you go. You have your miner address over here. Once you have your miner address, you need to go to the Evanesco website, go to the mining site, and go to the stake mining part. And with it, here is not working because I don't have any wallet preloaded, but from here you can stake 3000 EVA for every node you are using in Linux. So once you have staking here, make sure you do it correctly and you paste the address that is shown here. If you are doing this only for one instance, all the mining rewards will go to this address. If you are going to do this turning on several instances, I will show up in a few minutes how to do or how to redirect rewards from different miners versions to a single instance. So let's continue with this. Now, if we go to the website following up with the instructions, we just need to download the proof key. So let's copy the link. There it is. I'm going to download it in the root folder. So there we get. Paste. Download. This will take some time, so I will pause the video for now, and we will continue once the file is downloaded. there we go. We now have the proof file. Let's see. There it is. And we don't need the Go installer anymore. So Go. There we go. All right. Now that we have the proof key, we need to start mining, but we need to pass some parameters. And for that, we're going to create an executable file with all the parameters. So here I already have one prepared. So let's copy it and use it here. So inside miner, we're going to create a file. So nano run miner. We don't have nano, so let's install it first. Nano. There it is. It's installed. So let's create a file and let's paste what we have. So we have the folder. We need to replace here the folder where the miner is. So we need to change it, and we also need to define what's the folder where the proof key is already done. So let's go out here. I'm gonna save it. So here we have the miner folder, and the upper folder is the root or the home folder. So let's go and edit it. So let me just copy this, and there you go. Home miner, it's this one, and home is this one. So here, this is going to replace the home miner with the full directory, and the home with the just home directory. All right, so we have here miner mine, which is the main action we want to execute. We have the proof key. So this is the address of the proof key. We have the key, which is in the same folder. We have the miner folder. We have the key, which is the key file.json. This file was generated when we ran the miner generate command. We're going to create a file containing the password, so we don't need to type it every time. So let's change it. And if you are going to send the rewards to a single address, you just need to use this switch, the Coinbase switch. In this case, we're going to eliminate it and keep it that way. So we need to create a password file. So let's rename it to password. There it is. Close it and saving. Yes. So I'm going to create a password file. I will pause the video. So enter the password file, and we will show you in a few. Okay, I created a password file just using the nano editor. And if we take a look at the contents of the directory, we have the miner, which is the executable file. We have the password file, which is very critical. It's really important. We need to secure this file, and we have the script to run everything together. So first, let's change the security for the password file. So in this case, I'm gonna change it so only the root can read it. So let's change it to change the owner root to the password file. There you go. And let's change the permissions, which is the mode, change mode. For this, we're going to use permissions 400. the file. So let's see. So the password file, now the main owner of the password file is the root user, and with the 400 change in the permissions, we remove everything from here. Only the root user account can read the file. So changing this, we are securing the password file. Now we need to do a special modification to the script we have here. We need to add execution permissions. So let's change it, change mode. And this, to do it more easily, we're just saying that we need to add execution permissions to the run miner script. That's it. Now we have this in green, saying that it can be executed by the owner, the group, which is the same, and everyone can execute this file. So let's try it. Sudo run miner. So it automatically executes the miner with the proper folders for the proof key and for the proper pointing to the password file. If we run this command without the sudo here, it will fail. So let me just show you. There it is. Let's remove this. Run miner. So once it's trying to start, it says it's failed to read the password file because we secured it. So with this, we're making sure that only proper privileges can run our script file. So there you go. With this, you can run one instance. Probably you can make your window smaller and make another, open another one, and repeat the process to install a second miner instance. For a second miner instance, let's say that, for example, let me just show you really quick over here. So here we have another terminal loaded. Let's connect to the instance. Over here we have only one miner. Over here, you can clone git clone to another folder. Just doing this. Let me just show you. We paste the URL, and after that we can say like okay, this is going to be created or pasted in miner 02, and here we have downloaded a second miner. We can compile it as we already did and create a new key. Remember to register that key, to stake that key in the fortress site, and after that you will be ready to start running those miners. If you want to do this in a more advanced version, for example, if you are running this in a remote server, you will need to run this as a service. And for that, I have another, let me just show you. I have a service file that we can create. I'm going to copy this. Probably you can navigate to the to my GitHub site, so you can download this folder, this file. This is file to create a service. So let's say we want to create a service and run this process in the background. So we're going to create a service file description in a specific folder. This is in C system D system. in this folder, at least for Ubuntu and in this version, you can find all the services that we have installed in the system. So here, let's say we are going to create a sudo nano miner 01, because this is the first one where we have service. And in here, we're going to paste the contents of the file we already have. So let's change it. This is not the full node. This is the miner 01. The working directory is not this one, so let's change it. It's here. So this is a simple service, and with the executable, that's the reason we already did a script file. So we can just call it from the service, and it will execute the file. Miner and run miner. And let's save all this information that is displayed over here. It's going to be saved somewhere. So let's save it to the same folder. And miner. Let's save it as miner.log. There you go. Also, you're telling here that this service is going to be used by root. So there it is. Now we need to reload all the services we have. So we're running the daemon reload. So it will take in consideration the newest file we just created. So let's see, systemctl status miner 01. There you go. It's loaded and it's inactive right now. Let's cancel this, because this is a manual running of the process, and let's start it as a service, and let's see if we can check all the information from the log file. So Control C, there you go. Let's call it systemctl start miner 01. Let's see the status. It's running. So let's see the contents of the folder, and we have the miner log. It was just created, so you can see the contents in a real-time way, let's say, of the miner you are running, because this is right now being printed to the file itself, to the miner log. So instead of running this in the console, it's now running as a process, as you can see here. It's active, it's loaded, and it will trigger the script file we just created with all the information inside. So the last part we need to do is to configure this process to boot every time we restart the server. So sudo systemctl enable miner 01. This will create a symlink in a specific directory to start this service when the server reboots. So if you need to reboot the server, you don't need to take care of opening a window or starting manually the process. It will start automatically right now. So this is it. Now the process is running on the background, and you can see the status, all the information, all the usual output you currently see, or you usually see when you run the command. It's now being redirected to the miner log we just created. So it will take some time. I will show you in a few how the file contents change when the proof key is completely loaded. So let me just skip the video to that part. there we go. Now we have the miner already up and running, connected to a WebSocket and submitting work, as you can see here. Every time you see this part with the problem finish, submitting work, and the miner address, it is that it completed a mining cycle. It happens every once in a while, probably every 10 minutes or so. So there it is. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching the video and continue mining. Bye bye.